back to some more reviews, and today talk about um today I'll be talking about the movie I'm reviewing, which you guys know by the title of the video, but I gotta talk about something first. Basically my original plan for October was to do reviews on the Halloween franchise and on the Friday the 13th franchise. But what happened was I did the first review on the first movie, Halloween, and it was October 1st. It was perfect. Everything was set up. And what happened was I had done the review, and I put a lot of effort into the video, a lot of effort into the review. And I thought I did pretty good in the review, and it was a good review. And as soon as I was done, getting ready to, I was getting ready to click the button. Well, actually I did. I clicked the unrecord button, and pretty much the video got deleted. How? I do not know. I didn't press the delete button by accident. It's not like I went on there and accidentally I deleted it. No, I pressed the unrecord button. It glitched up for a little bit, and the video I can't upload it. It's like not even there. So the video messed up. I put a lot of effort into the review. I was like, dang it, man! Put all that effort into the review. My bad. That's my brother right there. But yeah, I put a lot of effort into the review, and it was upsetting because I was like, okay, that freaking sucks. I was mad, and basically, for those few days that it's October 10th, I think. It's either the 10th or the 11th. I think it's actually the 10th day. But I put a lot of effort into the review, and I was also busy. This entire time I've been really busy, not being able to upload any videos until now. And most of my movies are still over at my mom's house, so I was gonna review also the From Dusk Till Dawn franchise. 1, 2, 3, Full Tilt Boogie, and the first season of the TV series. But 1 and 3 are missing, and so I would only be able to review. I mean, I could probably review them with my memory, just not being able to watch them, again, because I haven't seen 1 and 3 for a while. Except for 3, I think I watched 3 like a couple weeks ago, but still, you watch a movie, you remember it easier than you trying to backtrack and remember everything from your previous memory, which who can honestly forget From Dusk Till Dawn. But I also came up with this idea, and this idea I have all the movies with me. I decided to do a Stephen King movie reviewing marathon. I don't have all the movies. I have Stephen King's It, which we're talking about today. Stephen King's Children of the Corn, classic. Stephen King's The Shining, another classic. Although I know that he doesn't really like the movie, Stephen King. He doesn't like the movie, and I know that's why they made the TV miniseries, but the TV miniseries I heard was dog crap. So, yeah, this is a classic though. The Shining, definitely a classic. So yeah, I really enjoyed The Shining. Stephen King's Silver Bullet, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a classic, but I still enjoyed the movie. Thought it was pretty good. Stephen King's The Mist, thought it was pretty good, pretty decent. Only big problems with the movie is there's some really bad CGI in the movie, and the ending of the movie was pretty bad. But besides that, thought it was a pretty good movie, The Mist. Cujo, which, I mean, I don't really know what bad things there is about Cujo. It's a great movie, it's a classic. It really has no problems. So yeah, Cujo, classic. Salem's Lot, and not really a classic, not really a good movie in my opinion. I just thought the pace really killed the movie. It was super slow, and the things that do happen really weren't that interesting. The best thing I can say about the movie is the look of the vampire. That look is creepy. It's very creepy, but besides that, I really didn't, care too much about the characters. The acting was pretty bad. The pace was awful. It was so freaking slow. And yeah, so it's one of those movies where the pace really killed the movie. Also, I have Stephen King's Desperation, which I haven't seen all the way yet. I've watched a little bit of it, and I stopped watching. Not because it's bad, because I really enjoyed the movie. It was just I stopped watching it because I was really busy at that time, so I stopped watching the movie. But besides that, sorry about that, hit the camera. So yeah, We got those movies. I will also probably be talking about Pet Cemetery. I'll be talking about maybe couple of other movies that he has, released. Not Stephen King himself, but they've been made by other movies, other directors, but the Stephen King's movies that are based off of his books. Um, I know that he also made like screenplays, like Cat's Eye and stuff like that. I don't know if I can find those movies, like Pet Cemetery, which is on Netflix, I think, so I can watch that. But Cat's Eye, if I can find Cat's Eyes, then I'll review it. But yeah, so today will be the start of the Stephen King movie adaptation of his books, or maybe some of the movies that he had done the screenplay for, and as the movie reviewing marathon. And we'll start off with the classic Stephen King's It, which I know that not everybody likes this movie. I know some people say the clown isn't even that scary. I know people say that this is like Stephen King doing cliche characters and doing like a redos of his other characters from his other books. Personally, I don't agree with that. I think it's got great characters, great acting, great idea of Pennywise the Clown, classic character played well by Tim Curry, and just a great movie altogether. It's shot well, it's acted well, has really likable characters. The character Pennywise, like I said, is a memorable killer. And it's TV. It's a TV miniseries, so it's not really rated R, but it's got some blood to it. It's really scary too. It's got some really creepy moments in it as well. And pretty much, I like the idea of the movie. I think it's got a great atmosphere. It's shot well. It's acted well. Has a great soundtrack to it. Great music. Um, yeah. So, I mean, also I'm a big fan of that poster. Pretty cool poster. Sorry if you guys can hear. You guys might not be able to hear that. If you guys can hear that crying, it's my brother up there, so just ignore that. My bad. But I like the idea. These kids who pretty much grew up in this town, and this town pretty much had this dark secret of these kids basically dying. And you got this character named Pennywise, who you find out is a monster. He's basically killing these kids off from the town one by one, and a group of these kids get together to be friends, and they're called the Losers Club. And pretty much the first half of the movie, because it's a two-sided disc, the first half is pretty much the characters when they were kids, and the second half is when they are adults. And I enjoyed the first half a little bit more than the second half. The second half pretty good, but the first one I thought was pretty, a little bit better. Pretty much the story is, like I said, you got these kids getting cut off, and I believe it's someplace in Maine. And pretty much, these kids get together to be friends, and they pretty much have all kinds of crazy things happen to them. This one character named Ben or something, I think his name is Ben. His brother dies, and there's a moment where he's looking at his brother's picture in a book. Classic scene where and it's also creepy, where his brother's photo, there's blood that comes out of it, and his brother winks at him, and the book fills with blood. That score to that was good. The book flying through the pages and then closing. It was creepy. This one kid, they're watching this movie about like the Wolf Man. Yes, the Wolf Man. And pretty much they're watching it, and then later on he sees the actual real Wolf Man, and it's Pennywise playing a trick on him. There's a moment where the character, I think her name's Elizabeth. It's Beverly, not Elizabeth. Not Barry. Beverly. My bad. It's not Elizabeth. It's not Barry. It's Beverly. It's Beverly. The character Beverly. She's pretty much by the sink, and you see this balloon fill up with like blood, and it pops, and the blood goes everywhere. And there's children there screaming like, "Help us! We're all the dead kids!" And it was really creepy. And then pretty much like these kids keep having these really, really creepy things happen to them, like, just seeing creepy things. And, pretty much by the end of the movie, they all form together and they go after the clown in the sewers. And, there are these bullies played by, I can't really remember, I think it was Richie. No, Richie was Seth Green. Was Seth Green? No, I don't know. Dang it. Yeah, Seth Green. He played Richie. Also, I'm trying to think of Henry Bowers, I think was yeah, Henry Bowers was pretty much a bully and stuff like that, and he had his friends and they were bullying the kids, and pretty much they go down the sewers and the boys fall down in there. They get killed. The kids pretty much, the character Beverly gets a stone, slingshots it at the clown's head, and it cracks open its head, and there's blood. There's like not blood but light that comes out of his head. And, pretty much it goes on this drain, and they say if this ever happens again, they'll all make a promise to come back to Derry. I think what's it called, the town. I think it's called Derry, and they'll make a promise to come back if he ever returns. And pretty much, eventually when they get older, I think they're like all 40 or something like that, 40 or 30. I think it's actually 40. And they found out that the character is back. They all go back to Derry, and that's pretty much the second half of the movie, the other side of the disc, where they go back and it's really cool when they go back because they actually make it just like just the way that they do it. They make it feel like it's a good when you leave. I don't know how to explain it. You know how when you I don't know. Let's say there was this, for instance, in the movie, this bike that they used to ride. Well, when they come back, they remember the bike. They remember all the memories. They sort of do that in the movie. It's really cool because it's like it was shot in the same year, but at the same time, they make it look like it was actually back in the '60s. So when you see all these characters again, all these themes again, you're like, hey, that was from the '60s part of the movie. That was pretty cool. And they kind of make you remember the certain parts of the movie, like from the side A when they were kids. It just was really cool. It was really cool they did that. And they finally you get the reunion of the Losers Club. You've got a great cast too that played them when they were adults. You've got Henry Anderson as Richie. You've got Dennis Christopher as Eddie. You got Stanley played by Richard Masur. Annette O'Toole as Beverly. You've got Tim Reed as Mike Hannon. They all did a great job in the movie. They did really good jobs, acting wise. And I think as far as acting goes, probably the adults are a little bit better. Besides like Seth Green, and the lead, and then Ben when he was a kid. Which I can't say that. It's not necessarily bad acting from the kid versions of these people, but I'd say the adults did a little bit better, just a little bit better, not too much better, because the kids they acted pretty well, but the adults did a little bit better, a little bit better, and pretty much they found out that the character Stanley has pretty much committed suicide. He slit his wrist and wrote it on the bathroom wall. Really creepy scene, and pretty much they get together. They go to this restaurant, and while they're eating. It's like at a Chinese restaurant. One of them opens, like each of them they open their fortune cookie. Like one of them has a spider in it. One of them has an eyeball in it. One of it's like a crab. Really creepy ideas. And one of them's pretty much like a animal that was born too early. Basically just just a really messed up bird. And it's like all deformed looking, and pretty much they find out that they gotta stand up to this character because they're kind of running away from it. They go over to this place, and they find their friend's head in the freaking fridge, and balloons start coming out of there, and of course they get together and they realize they gotta fight back against it, and pretty much it all goes away, and then they realize they have to stand up to this thing. They have to stand up to it. And they go back in the sewer, they fight it, they find out that it's actually a crab creature thing, which honestly I thought was a pretty cool idea. I know a lot of people didn't like that idea, but I thought it was a decent idea, the spider creature thing. And they fight it, and it kills Eddie, picks him up and kills him, and then they break its leg and pull his leg out and open its insides up and pull it apart basically. And also really cool lines of dialogue, especially by Tim Curry, delivers some cool lines, especially that scene where he's in the library and there's balloons that come down because you realize these characters can only see it, no other characters can, only they can see it. And pretty much, the balloons come down and pop on people's face and there's blood everywhere. and the guy's freaking out, he's like, ah, holy crap! And it's like pretty much Pennywise the clown's pretty much like, is your refrigerator running? It is. So why don't you go run out there and catch it? Just cool lines of dialogue. And also some really cool scenes. Like there's a scene where the character Eddie's in the shower, and the shower heads extend out, and Pennywise opens the drain and stretches a hole in the ground. He's like, "Tell your friends about me." And I got that scene where he's like, "Everything floats down here. Everything floats." Very creepy. And that sewer scene where he's talking to the kid, he's like, "Oh yes, they float. And when you're down here with me, you'll float too." Grabs the kid's arm. You finally pulled his arm off, and just you don't see it, but you find out later in the movie that he got his arm pulled off. It was creepy. And also before I talk about the review a little bit more, I might talk about other Stephen King movies too. Like I might talk about Pet Sematary. I might talk about Rose Red. Also, I might talk about The Stand and Misery. I might talk about those movies. Like if I can find them, I'll talk about them. But for right now, I'll just stick to these reviews, and then if I can find those on like Netflix or Hulu or something like that, I'll watch, Rose Red, or I'll watch Pet Sematary. And pretty much, at the end of the movie, they get together for one final time. They go back in the sewers and they face it. Like I said, that the whole fight happens, and pretty much they all come out, and it's the end of the movie. And yeah, so I thought it was shot well. Great music, it has a great theme song to it as well. Clown music, really creepy. The opening of the movie is pretty cool, where it goes like Stephen King's, and it zooms out and it says "It." Awesome, awesome opening of the movie. And also really cool where they have like pictures of the people when they were kids and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. And just well acted, well shot. Just great movie. Don't really have that many problems with this. Definitely a classic. And yeah, so thanks for watching my review on Stephen King's It. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.